Hi, this is Pete from FMI Enterprises. I'm an auto dealer here in Southern California, and today I have for you a nice looking 2000 Porsche 911. The car has 131,000 original miles, shows one owner on the auto check. As you can see, it's got some modifications to it. It's got a Gembala sticker on the back of the deck lid with what looks to be like a Gembala turbo style wing. It's got the decals on the side. Got a very nice set of wheels on it. They look really good. It's got Remus exhaust on it. It's a cabriolet, dark gray color. Car, it's not perfect, but it does run and drive. And I'm going to demonstrate and show you guys everything here on the side of the camera that I notice. First off, let's talk about the body and the paint. The paint and the body look decent. It's not perfect. Has some rock nicks from normal driving and whatnot. It's got a small little ding in it, which I'll show in a second. But overall, the car looks pretty darn good. I mean, for the age of the car, 19 years old car, I think it looks good. It's got some, I see some little, tiny little rock nicks on the front bumper. Actually, not too bad, but there are a couple little rock nicks from normal driving here and there. On the hood as well, see a couple little tiny rock nicks just from normal driving. Nothing big. It doesn't look bad at all. Emblem looks nice. The headlights look nice. It's got a little lip lower chin spoiler here on it with a little bit of stress crack right there. But I mean, overall, not too bad. Very presentable. You can see underneath looks pretty good. Continuing on with the body, the right front fender looks good, nice and straight. The door looks good. A couple tiny little, you see like a little minuscule little nick in it that would disappear with a little bit of touch-up paint. But I'm just trying to point everything out. Here's the little ding I was talking about, which looks like it could easily be popped out by a dent guy. The rear deck lid looks good. The right rear fender, the remainder looks pretty good. No problems there. The tail end's good shape. The rear deck lid looks good. And you can see Gembala, which is a company that did modifications on Porsches, BMWs, European cars, I think, in general. And they would do like turbo conversions and things like that, wild, crazy stuff like that. So this car does not have a turbo. I haven't done any research on it as far as looking into the history of it, but it does have a stock 996 engine in it. So just to put that out there. The rear bumper looks good, nice and clean. The left rear quarter looks good. It's got the graphics, I think it looks pretty nice. I like the graphics. And the wheels match with the graphics good. It's got the inner red stripe, which looks pretty cool, I think. Toyo tires. Got some super duper light little scratch right here that would probably just polish right off. The left front fender is clean. So overall, I'd say the paint and body, probably about an 8, 8.5, probably an 8 to be safe out of a 10. Car looks really nice. I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks pretty darn good. Mirrors look good. The top is in good shape. There's no rips or tears in the top. The rear window is pretty good. You can definitely see out of it, see through it. It's not brand new, but I've seen much worse. This here, you can see there's two little elastic straps that are supposed to make the whole top close right, and the elastic straps get weak. You see this in a lot of these cars now at this age. This one's a little bit more pronounced, but the top isn't ripped or anything. It's just it's just pulling it in right here. The tension's not pulling in the right spot. There's a YouTube video on how to fix it. Yeah, it's just a couple little elastic strips you have to staple on to guide the top. But anyway, it's that's how it is right now, and you can see the material's in pretty good shape. There's no rips or tears in the material itself. So there's that. Continuing on, let's talk about the wheels first off. You've got a couple little rub spots here and there just from parking and normal driving. Brake pads in the rear probably look about 50%, and these are definitely wider wheels than the stock ones, and I think they look really good. You've got 2 95, 30, 19, so these are 19-inch wheels. The tires probably have about, in the rear, a good 70%. And the fronts are 19 inch as well. 235, 35, 19. Front wheels look pretty good. There's no little scuffs on those wheels. Brake pads are probably about 30% right there remaining. And the tire wear on the front, you're probably looking at, oh, there's probably a good 60%. So the tires are pretty decent around the car. This wheel looks pretty good. Toyo Proxies. Yeah, so there's a pretty good amount of tread left here. This one has a little bit of rash on it. So there you go. Anyway, let's talk about the interior. Interior is pretty nice. It's had some upgrades, modifications, whatever you want to call it, when they did this conversion to this car. Now it says ATF edition. I don't know what that means, if it's automatic transmission fluid or what, but I doubt it's that. But you know, it's something that means something to somebody. But anyway, the seats are pretty nice. There's no rips or tears in the seats. The little micro switch handle is comes off, but the seat switch does work. The power functions work, but you can get a new micro switch on eBay for 20 or 30 bucks. I don't think they're that expensive. But anyway, seats overall in good shape. Got a nice set of floor mats with these red borders on them. Look good. The carpet underneath is in excellent shape. Passenger side as well, it's got the matching floor mat. And in the rear, it's got the floor mats in the rear on both sides. Looks good. The rear seating area looks brand new, as most do. Looks good. The center console looks decent. Looks like a 19-year-old car. Some minor wear and tear, nothing too bad. You got the key right here. Now I push the button and the it doesn't do anything as far as communicate with the car, so I'm not sure what's going on there. All I know, the central locking system works, the door locks work and everything. I'll just fire the car right up right now. Okay, so it's continuing on here. Looks like the dash was wrapped with leather at some point when the seats were done and the rest of the car was done with the tail and everything. And it looks like here you can see it's coming up, the leather cover. that was put on here, because it's stock, it's just a plastic dash. So definitely this is like a leather cover and it's shrunken up, so that'll be you know, if you want to change it, you could. The door panels were done as well. You can see it's got this leather stitched covering over the door panel trim, which actually looks pretty decent. It's in good shape. Driver's side too looks good. Steering wheel is in pretty decent shape. Not brand new, but looks okay. The shifter looks good. It's got a USB line-in input here from the radio, of course, and you've got a wheel lock right here for these wheels. It's got a JVC head unit, and it looks to be a pretty nice system. It's got looks like Bluetooth. It can handle 2 phones at the same time. Got a lot of nice features. USB, of course, XM, auxiliary in, and yeah, so it's a nice feature. The AC is on right now and blowing cold. Engine runs good. You can hear, what you hear here is the power steering pump making a little bit of noise. The engine itself runs great. The power steering pump, it must have a bearing in it that's making some noise. And we'll go on a test drive, show you what that's like in driving it. Trunk compartment's clean. It's got a good battery. It's got a amplifier here. I can't even tell the manufacturer, but it looks like it was pretty well done and installed. The struts holding up the hood are decent. It's got the toolkit right there, the spare tire, of course. The convertible top, you push the button and everything wants to work here. The windows go down as there should be, the latch comes up, and then nothing happens as far as the clamshell opening. So I believe this thing is out of oil. It needs to have some oil added to it to make it work, which is pretty common on these cars. All the windows go up and down, all the regulators work, front, rear, right side, left side. Let's take a ride. E-brake works good. The left front wheel bearing's making a little bit of noise, especially when you get going on the freeway. It's howling a little bit, and that's a $40 part on the wheel bearing. You've got a little chip in the windshield right here. The transmission makes a little bit of a howl when you're driving, as you can hear, I think. So there are some issues with the car. You know, it does run and drive fine, but you know, the transmission makes a little bit of noise, that wheel bearing and the power steering pump. So I've got no engine lights or warning lights or anything like that. That's the convertible top light, but obviously it's closed. It's just the sensor's not communicating and telling it that it's closed. But no check engine lights on the car. I've driven it quite a bit to know enough that all the monitors are set. The readiness monitors. It's got a subwoofer down here in the floor. You can see that. Looks like it was added in there. The radio sounds pretty good. It's got cruise control. So we'll get going here on the road. So a little bit of a scary corner. The transmission doesn't grind or anything, doesn't pop out of gear. Shifts very good. The clutch feels good. You've got the noise coming from the probably a pinion gear in the transmission, and then you've got that wheel bearing in the front left that's making a little bit of noise. So that's about it. I think I covered just about everything. Not a brand new car, not a perfect car. It's a good looking car, but it's gonna need a little bit of work. It does run and drive. I don't know about driving it cross country. It's got a good set of tires. The brakes are decent. It handles good. It steers good. Drives good. The engine runs strong. Transmission shifts good. It just makes noise. So, like I said, it's just a couple things that it's gonna need, and I just want to make that clear to everybody. So, if you have any questions, give me a call. Numbers in the advertisement, and that's about it. Thank you very much.